We're gonna talk about water. Do you believe water is a scam?
Is a scam. Water's a solvent, so it's dissolving your body. The fact that people say it's hydrating your cells is crap. It's not a carbohydrate, it's not a fat, it's not a protein. It's literally a solvent. You put any type of material in water, it dissolves it. That's what it's doing to your body. And same. You also believe
People get mad, but this is actually true. And they got mad in the comments real bad, bro. Giving me 3 versus 200 ratio, basically. A rage bait, basically. Maybe the guy with 200 likes was actually reported and disappeared. There's generally a lot of hate going on. I mean, it's not in order, so we're probably gonna find it. Okay, it was deleted somehow. It got 200 likes on the idea that that's why people should wear condoms. And basically all over, people trying to sniff stupidity, and it's one of those flat earth moments, I guess, where people will never be able to believe that water is in fact a solvent. And in terms of MaxStats episode that we're gonna start, I'll dive a little bit deeper about water and how to rethink the way water actually works, because that should be pretty helpful. All right, it's MaxStats number 17. We talk about capitalism organizing, trying to escape the infinite, trying to look at what other people are improving about themselves, fighting stress. There's just tons of episodes already. Now we're gonna mix in the people's disrespect again. We're gonna talk about haters, I imagine. Because you can see how people just kind of push back immediately when they feel like something is stupid, that they cannot believe it. They push insults immediately. They can't fucking help themselves. All you have to know is that insults is not an intellectual way to discuss things. People just retaliate because they have not been taught any of this. I have not been taught any of this by anyone. This is the first time I hear my own opinion, by the way, in much more plain English. So welcome to discussion about water. First thing you need to know, from my point of view, is water is an element that comprises literally everything in the world. If something is an element like fire, earth, and wind, it is comprising everything in the world, and people in the comments, whoever is trying to be intellectual, is trying to say that cola is made out of 90% water, that your body's made out of 70% water, that everything is almost water that you can think of. Everything contains water and all that shit. That's a good place to start, understanding that water is an element, and yes, you're gonna find water everywhere you go, and you need water to survive. For an interesting reason, potentially. Maybe we're gonna put together something interesting and logically sound that I don't already know. So, we gotta dive in, man. The funny thing is, it is a flat earth debate. Of like, water always finds its level. That has been debated the whole time. Now, it's a very weird thing to rely on to describe flat earth. Like, I don't care about that part. I only care about the moon being the same size as the sun. That fucking bothers me, dude. That's when I would start questioning the shape of the earth. But again, just because people treated me as a conspiracy theorist, that's why I'm talking like that. You get what you're looking for. Even in my Discord, the moment people start talking about ban, and I throw that curveball, I'm like, if you accept this conversation about someone's getting banned at some point, well, someone's gonna get banned. Maybe don't even have to be a bad thing that they did. Doesn't have to be anything. It's just gonna, I'll ban someone for the fun of it, for the hell of it, basically. if people actually bring up insults and all that shit, I will troll back real hard. But this is not rage bait content. I am invested into the 4 element mindset for a very long time. In fact, I started the series with a 4x4, which is made out of water, earth, fire, and wind, and that shit keeps replaying in my head non-stop. Our human population is made out of 25% water. I'm not talking about our bodies. We as personalities are made out of 25% water. What does that mean? Let me explain. We have 4 personalities, and we have, as I've said, anarchist, narcissist, psychopaths, or fucking vampires, and sociopaths. We have a bunch of pans. So sociopaths are the water. These are social creatures. They bond together very well into a bigger blob. And the other superpower they have is, well, dissolving. They are the solvent. They dissolve anything that gets into the water. They spread it across the entire blob. So they have to dissolve a piece of it and spread it around. Whether it's sugar, any other spice, tea, it just drags and spreads around. That's what socialism is, bro. It's a distribution of resources. Socialism is like a very, very violent distribution of resources, which is why drinking plain water is dangerous. Plain water is not the same as water found other places. All right? If water is found in your body, it's not going to be plain water. You can't just pretend to have 70% of your body mass as water, and anytime you don't want water in your body, you just like remove it. Even pee is not plain water. That's not what's going on. Your pee is full of minerals and all that crazy shit that makes it yellow most of the time. So you can say 70% of body is water or liquids and all that shit, but you cannot say plain water. It's a completely different concept. It's a concept that we try to give people plain water by connecting pipes and all that shit, and it comes out of your tap, right? You can get plain water. Is that tasty for you? Is that something you would drink every day? No, people buy Coke, people buy energy drinks, all kind of fucking bullshit you can think of, just to avoid drinking plain water. So it is dangerous naturally. Naturally, people don't like it. And they don't like it because it hurts my throat. It actually attacks me, bro. Now, it can't attack you because it's too cold. First of all, too cold. So, I don't know. It just damages your body if it's too cold, because the body temperature is completely different than water temperature when it's cold. I mean, water is like room temperature. If you put that shit inside your body, all of a sudden, it will mess you up. But the solvent part is also important. So the temperature is important and flavor is important. So what was the comment that I've made? Exactly why it just goes fucking viral out of control? It is true. This is why you should always add flavor to water and never drink plain water. I just explained in the most obvious way. But people reject that idea. Good for you. You're gonna die sooner. Alright? You're just gonna die sooner. Yeah, I'll call people plain water drinkers at this point if they become like really upset about something. Obviously, you have to carefully choose what flavor to add to the water, but that's the water that you would like to drink, and there's the water that you would not like to drink. This is why we like ice cream. Ice cream is technically water and cream. It's not that crazy, right? Every liquid can be a suspect to having containing water. But milk is one of the craziest substances ever. You take a tablespoon or a spoon of milk, drop it in water, and all of a sudden, your entire cup of water is no longer transparent. Just a little bit of milk can completely change the structure of how the water, the plain water, actually looks like. So a little bit of flavor can immediately change the structure of water. And it does matter what flavor. It's like alchemy at this point. You know, you're playing alchemy, but you start with plain water. But you can't drink plain water because there ain't no fucking health potion. It's ass. It's just water. It doesn't do anything. In fact, it would just damage your body because it's just adding straight up nothing. You know, a bunch of empty space. Maybe, you know, dark matter is water. That's what dark matter is. Just nothing. The most nothing. That's why you drown in water. You're just surrounded by dark matter. You lose. You everything shuts down. Like you actually can drown. I mean, isn't that fun? You can drown in water. You cannot drown in earth. You have to put a lot of effort to drown in earth. But all you have to do is jump off a cliff and then you will get smashed by the earth, right? You can get destroyed by just a fucking rock falling on top of you or you falling into the rock. When it comes to water, the way water kills you, you just surround yourself with enough water and it will kill you really fast. Just drown. You don't even have to, you know, run out of water in your body. You just jump in there and forget how to swim or get too tired. That's it. Too much of this. Now, this does not actually help us with the argument. Obviously, you can drown in any liquid. So this does not help us identify which liquids we would rather drown in. Like, that's not... Which are much happier liquids. No, you would drown in every single one, unfortunately. Not helpful. But it's important for logical deduction to collect every single piece to see where we're gonna go from there. Element that makes up personality, makes up self-esteem. Your self-esteem. What is your self-esteem? Why is the best way to understand self-esteem is just understand a circle of water, potentially, of you. But you are different from everyone else. See, if you drink water, you just become like everyone else. You become a fucking NPC. That could be a real danger. You could be drowning in water in a way that you are dissolving your personality by drinking water, just plain water. You can potentially make up your personality by having flavors and offering those flavors to other people and see how they like it. You know? Exchanging flavors, socializing over flavors of water. This is not a fucking cheap thing. You can grow your self-esteem and talk about water and flavors and trade them and taste them and all that shit. And what is sex, basically? Flavor of what is sex? This shit makes up our lives. Flavors make up our lives. Our identity is how we feel. And how we feel can easily be changed by adding one candy in your system, and all of a sudden you feel different. But 70% of us is water, so if we don't understand water, we don't understand 70% of our bodies. We do not understand that part. But the way to understand is, in fact, translating water into feelings, and then you will understand. Alright? Of why we are 70% water. What is blood? It's all feelings, my friends. Blood is potentially a more like a systematic way to move things around in your body. Because it's a solvent, Water's a solvent, so, fuck yeah. Blood actually goes to the next level and moves really important things around in your body. I'm just throwing an idea out there. I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure it's a very much linked with feelings, with stress, with a heart attack thing going on. Blood pressure is bad, like it's all feeling stress related, right? So many people on TikTok say that why would you let fucking 10-second interaction ruin your entire day? Yep. You don't understand. You don't understand. The fucking 10 seconds of poison can muddy the entire water, and there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. You can only let that happen and not stress about it. Poison get. You can not care. You can just not just let it. I'll show you how it looks like. Yes, as weird as it sounds, it's dangerous. Plain and white. You just need to add flavor. How difficult it is to understand, right? Everyone wants to drink flavored water. And yet people treat it as the shocking reality of someone saying and believing these things.
I know. It's a
Guys, something is happening. I don't know. She felt absolutely nothing, bro.
impact that
Either she felt nothing or doesn't want to actually disclose her feelings. Because she's an introvert, she likes privacy, whatever, right? But in this show, we literally have a water personality, which is Ari. And the reason why she is not eating very well is because of water. She's now getting sucked out, bro. Her energy is getting sucked out. She's kind of living the consequence of what happens when you just drink plain water. When you live a lifestyle like this, you end up drained. You don't need vampire upon vampire to attack you. The water itself, by being plain water, will be the vampire. You never thought that it is. Plain water. Why plain water? Because if water is the most basic structure, right? What is a child? Is child evil or a good person? It's evil. Child is an evil person because it demands things from you. It actually demands or it will die. You know, it constantly cries and nags the parents and explains his problems and becomes a nuisance in many ways. A child is evil by definition of nagging everyone around and asking for attention, food, you fucking name it. It's not just selfishness we're talking about. It's selfishness without giving anything in return. Water can take energy from you. The plain water is just like a baby that will take things from you, and if you not give it toys, if you don't give it flavor, it will take other things. It will make you stress. It will be hungry. And it will bother you like a fucking demon. That's what it is. It's the same exact description. Everything is the same. Described from a different fucking metaphor. Because life keeps repeating the metaphors over and over. It's made out of these building blocks. We all start as water creatures, as people who just feel feelings and not much else. We don't have thoughts. We don't have ownership over things. We just have a bunch of feelings, and we start fucking crying the moment we come out into the open, out of privacy of mom's womb. You know, we start crying. We're like, wah! It was comfortable in there. Wah! And the evil begins, and you can maintain your evil ways by continuing to be a fucking shitty NPC crybaby. Basically, you can do that. Many people do that. You can align yourself with the blob of other people and continue on your way. There's going to be less and less survivors, however, you know, because people die at various times, or people just move on with their lives over there. They decide to actually move to a better. So while you feel like you're part of this big ass blob, people will have they will go in various directions as well, various streams. You will still have to make various choices. Life is pretty crazy even for an NPC, you know? Even if you're following what everyone else is doing. So it is a mystery of like why did Ariana just like survived all of this and didn't seem to feel a thing? And my mom does the same thing. She shuts off her brain. She shuts off the part where you can feel pain or whatever. She lets the poison just circulate across the body and she will not feel a thing. Because she shut off her brain or ability to even express anything, ability for her brain to communicate to her and convince her that like something bad is going on. No, everything is shut down in people who are just feelers. Because they don't want to feel the fucking poison. They don't want to talk about, they don't want to give it attention. They just let it fucking, you know, kind of clear over time. And technically, that's one way to deal with poison. If you don't panic, poison can't do much. Poison will get bored and just evaporate over time. That's one way to deal with it. If you don't feel the heat of these hot ones, I mean, you will feel, but she's not wanting to describe. She's not willing to actually give into the pain. She's just gonna let it fucking push through, and it will evaporate. Now again, as it evaporates, because it has to, and it will still keep her warm, and it's continue to evaporate, she will lose more energy than most people. People who are poisoned, obviously their bodies heat up and they lose more energy over time than regular people, right? Or cold-blooded, let's put it that way. But everyone who gets sick, they get temperature. Their bodies become heated up because that's what they do. They try to evaporate the poison. Very simple. I think we're done here. I think I explained everything. Plain, simple English. Maybe that's why we call it planet. Because it starts from a plane. Nah, it's the other words. The one that means fucking flat, dude. I don't know, people don't know how to deal with drama of that caliber when conspiracy shows up. Government conspiracy of like, why would they do this? And why would they hide this information and that information? This one's pretty weird because it actually required me to discover that yes, plain water is pretty bad. Like I don't want to drink it for a very important reason. And now we stacked the reasons. Also simple. The next phase of this is talking about cleaning, right? Hygiene. So we know that our body can be clean, we have skin. But if you are bleeding, cleaning becomes that much worse for you. You have to stop the bleeding, and we don't stop the bleeding with water, all right? Because guess what water does? It does dissolve, and it will not stop the bleeding. Something else has to stop the bleeding. You have to dry out your wounds for a reason, right? It's not like, wow, our bodies is made out of 70% water, so we're gonna heal every single wound by just putting a bunch of water on top. And that will fix it. No, every single liquid has their own kind of purpose and consistency, made out of different materials for a reason. Just like wood and steel are different materials. They're used for different purposes. So every single liquid is a different kind of problem solver. We use plain water for cleaning too, funny enough. In fact, it's kind of good for heat regulation, but one thing that is important is that you drink hot. You can drink hot stuff, and you can shower with cold stuff. And you cannot mix that shit. You cannot drink cold drinks because that'll mess you up. And you cannot shower in a hot shower sometimes. Like hot could be very hot. Like you will not whatever is a hot drink, you would not shower with it. I'll tell you that much. Like it's very mild water that people shower. Now, people like women who want to get that hot water, I mean, they're damaging their bodies. They're constantly damaging their bodies, just like a fucking bodybuilder is gonna damage their fucking body or psyche just to get the biggest body imaginable. So women do the same thing. They fucking scrape off, peel off their skin. They fucking melt that shit off with the hot water. They don't give a fuck. And that's just like disgusting. It's like fucking burning your skin with the sun, right? Getting them sunburns. You don't mix that shit, bro. No hot showers and no colds. Especially when hot comes through all the pipes, it comes with a lot of trash. It's dirty water. Hot water that comes out from here is dirty. But hot water that you drink comes from you boiling the fucking water that was already cold. So it was already clean, and then it becomes cleaner. So you have to be very careful to make sure that you maintain the clean water in your life. And you don't mix that shit together. Because all of a sudden, even that becomes dirty. Even that becomes unhygienic and unhealthy. Mixing that shit. Drinking cold water and showering with hot water. Okay, cool. You do that. But because people actually do that and they don't question. Nobody came up to them and told them otherwise. You have to tell to every single human being these factors. Every single one. Somehow we know how to fucking brush our teeth, but we don't know which fucking water to use for what. You tell me, bro. Now, I wouldn't go as far as to say as water is a scam, but it's literally scamming itself because people have a hard time believing that they use water improperly. Maybe they want more feelings, they want more disease. It's fun for them to be fucking homeless and degenerated to a nobody. It's fun. I think it's fun. I think those people are pretty fun to mess around with if that's what they want to be. You know, just like feed someone else's ego. I'm just you have fun. You have fun mixing and matching all this garbage and not believing what I'm saying, right? You have fun with that. And then it does make sense that I am not being hated here, that condoms are used for people like this who believe that they can just mix things up and not actually learn out. You know, conspiracy theories, they have to come out from another room of trusting everyone around them. I literally have to escape this fucking circle of people believing in things because they might believe something completely wrong. They have been told to believe something and they just believe it. And it's like, okay, I'm just gonna get out of that circle. Most, like, Eric's debate just came out, the flat earther. He just comes out of like, I've lost many, many connections, many relationships because I became a hardcore flat earther. Now, it is different to become hardcore, but it's understandable why you suddenly get outside of a circle of people. Why people feel insulted talking about a topic that they don't believe in. All right, cool. So it's the same thing. Most people believe stupid shit so they can just stay in the fucking circle. But you actually have to be born again. Born again. Become even more independent. It's a half and a half, my friends. Because someone will try to convince you otherwise. Someone might actually try and scam you with water or something. Put ice in your water for no reason. So you get sick. If you drink cold water, this additional problem is your immunity system will immune system. What? How is it called? Isn't that immunity though? Just immune system. Okay. So your immune system is gonna collapse. What happens when you freeze? When you are cold as a human being, when there's snow outside, are you gonna run around and enjoy your day, or are you gonna like shiver in fear that nothing scary will happen right now because like damn, I have less energy. I have to use energy to just be able to move around. So anything that safeguards your system is now slowed down because you drink cold water. Like it's crazy how this is a solid ass principle that people just straight up disrespect. I'm not sure with the cleaning thing. Like you don't need shower every single day. You're gonna be relatively clean, at least from the bottom up. Maybe you want to clean your feet, just like Sniper Wolf. Maybe you can deal with greasy hair. Maybe you don't wanna. Now I don't use shampoo, and many people are going against that. It's like shampoo, like fuck, it's terrible. To me, I'll just say I'm just relatively not clean person. I don't have good hygiene, and it actually annoys me. However, there's one habit that I had to pick up, or I will suffer really bad consequences. I have to wash my face and my hands because I don't want to be fucking scratching and itching all over the place. Especially my face and my hands have to be relatively clean to feel good. My hands have to feel good. My face has to be clean so it doesn't fucking bother me because I'm constantly touching my face and all that shit keeps creating shit on my face. Acne happens because you don't do that. You don't have a habit of cleaning your hands and cleaning your face. The rest of my body is shit. All right, I should clean it more often, to be honest. Now, if I have a convenient shower where I just step in, clean really fast, get like a fucking 3 minute shower, I might would do that. I might get a habit like that. The next thing is like obviously creating convenience around. Like you have to have ability to heat water. You have ability to jump into the shower as quickly as possible, so it doesn't feel like a big thing to ask yourself. Most of the time, you will go into the shower when you feel fucking stinky. You maybe you can even wash your clothes because I do. I wash my clothes with the hands. All right, I hand wash my clothing because it's just that much fucking easier, and you see all the shit come out. It's just the most satisfying thing for me. I hand wash most of my clothes. Most. Maybe there's exceptions, but I can pretty much hand wash everything, and I feel good about it, bro. I I call it the drip effect. All right, people call their clothes drip, and I'm like, yeah, I'm dripping sweat. My balls are dripping, all kinds of fucking liquids, bro. Yeah, I'm dripping, and my clothes are soaking in all that shit. And clothes well happen to feel just like water. Water just soaks all the energy in. That's where you have feelings. That what you soak in, all the poison that goes into your body. So very similar thing happens with clothing because it becomes water. It becomes the sponge, right? So pretty much it's not a liquid, it's a solid, but it's still water. Still a water element. It still deals with water. It becomes a sponge. So that's how you have to treat your clothing. And I like hand washing. Maybe it's a good fucking habit to have. One other thing, teeth. Mouthwash, bro. So let's just call it mouthwash, right? That's another thing I do. I don't use toothpaste. My mouth is feeling super clean. The only thing that I don't understand about my mouth are these fucking wisdom teeth. They're trying to conquer as much land as possible for themselves. Who are those fucking wisdom teeth thing they are, bro? Now they kind of put teeth together, they put pressure, it's kind of nice. But at the same time, fuck you, wisdom teeth. I still have them though. It still hurts sometimes. Existing, bro. It's the most pain I've ever felt These fucking wisdom teeth have destroyed like six casualties in my mouth. Like, is that serious? All right? Free Palestine is what I'm thinking when I get attacked by fucking nuclear missiles in my mouth. But mouthwash actually gave me a simple solution of like, I don't want to fucking brush my what that doesn't even seem like effective. It seems so annoying to brush teeth. I know there's some shit happening on top of the teeth, something accumulating, and I kind of want to remove it. I can just remove it with finger. Yeah, putting finger in the mouth is pretty fucking stupid. I can still just remove it with finger though, if something accumulates. But mouthwash saves the day. All right, because it's a way for me to clean teeth where I feel actually clean in the end, and not just like putting a lot of effort just to kind of feel average, not quite clean. Average is good. Toothbrush, like it works, everything works, but it's not. It doesn't feel good in the end. It feels like you put way too much shit into your mouth already, and you have to spit it out and all this fucking nonsense. The mouthwash I use, and I'm not sure how can I upgrade it, but this is like plain mouthwash. All right, I mix milk. I don't recommend this. I don't actually recommend this, but this is the one that I thought is good. Salt and oil. People do the oil pulling, so I'm like, yeah, okay, let's have that. People say salt is pretty good for teeth. Let's have that. And milk just feels good for my mouth in general, and just creates this nice substance that like foaming in your mouth just kind of touches every single part of your mouth. Let's say viscous and very nice liquid to just have. So I put these ingredients together for this alchemical mouthwash, my friends. Maybe this works for you and gives you great effects, great results. Tell me about it, right? Maybe you come up with something better, because there's other things that you can add. I've tried one more thing. I've tried cloves. Cloves are very interesting. They feel so minty, or they have like a very strong flavor. I tried that. That kind of worked too. Just water cloves. It worked. When I bought mouthwash, it was disgusting. The actual mouthwash being sold is disgusting. There's only one brand that was like acceptable for me. And still, if there's just one brand, I'm not guaranteed to always get to purchase it, basically. Or I would have to purchase in bulk and kind of commit to it. So I didn't do that. I just made my own solution to that. So I don't have to buy that shit. I just have it all the time. I always have oil, I always have salt, I always have milk. This is my personal favorite solution. And I feel clean, bro. My mouth feels clean because I feel that it's not the toothbrush that's actually cleaning your teeth, it's actually damaging your teeth. What is cleaning your teeth is water, is the solvent, the property of water that gives that ability to clean in the first place. It cleans. Now you can clean your body with that too, potentially, just drinking plain water. Have fun with it if you have something to clean. Maybe if you're poisoned or something really serious has to happen for you to just drink plain water. Maybe there's some kind of solution that you can achieve by doing this. But I have not encountered it yet in my life. Even when you are in a feverish situation, you just drink hot tea. It's not water. You have to drink something that actually has flavor so you can drink more of it. Even Mr. Beast sells all these like flavored water bottles, basically. I still remember exact video where it happened. It is funny how much we can talk about water, right? I have never learned how to swim, by the way. I have to put it on blast. This was the video, and I will...
Flavor intensity just by turning the dial.
Flavor. But Carl, set it to 9 now?
Jimmy, that's a lot of flavor.
That's a ton of flavor.
Which makes it
See, now you can be mad of like, oh no, Mr. Beast is selling water to people. No, he's selling flavor. Because that's an important fucking ingredient when it comes to drinking water. Because that's the whole fucking point. People want to flex of like, oh, I'm hydrating myself with so much water right now. But the way to hydrate yourself is to force yourself to drink water, which you cannot drink plain water. It actually feels dry for a reason. The plain water feels dry. Even tea feels dry, which is why I like milk. All right, I like a little bit of milk in every single one of my drinks. It makes things feel a little bit more normal, but even then it's not quite there yet because milk also leaves something behind that just like feels like shit. So you want something acidic as well. You can have like pickled juice. Marinated pickled juice, bro. That's my go-to right now solution to this, but like literally there's a circle of problems. So pickles kind of solve that. Or just like you have plain water that requires milk for it to taste properly. Because even just adding flavor sometimes will still feel acidic and kind of disturbing. And a certain amount of milk is going to fix that. Milk is like a crazy OP ingredient in a way. Right? We should be fucking praying for them cows for releasing carbon dioxide or whatever the fuck they like to do. You know, we should worship that shit instead of demonizing carbon dioxide and cow farts. I mean, this is the most valuable thing. And people who are vegans, I mean, fuck you guys. I live longer. Bitch, I live longer now. Yeah, you better be born fast before you drown amongst NPCs. Oh, they are fucking disgusting. They're trying to drown me right now. If anything. I have to physically now escape the NPC world. Physically. Just being surrounded, just having NPCs around in my life feels like shit. I have to physically remove myself from all the stupid people who will do more stupid things because they can't fucking help themselves. There's no ground for them to stand on. They will try and drown me. So there's so much you can learn from water and so much ways you can improve in the world of water. And eventually it feels solid. It feels like I'm actually run out of material at this point. What else am I gonna fucking talk about? I already talked about pickle juice, you know? We can talk about soda, cola, all that shit, but most of it you just have to filter out. Just like that. Just like that. Alright, so all of this is obviously garbage. It's just, again, people's go-to situation where they buy these drinks, but they're terrible for you, obviously. They put sugar, they put the bubbles in to make it appealing, but overall they're just full of shit. You have to look for flavors that are cheaper, buy it less often, and replace with the... I do jam. Now, this is too specific of like strawberry jam. There's all kinds of fucking jams. And if Americans don't got it, I feel sorry for you. Because, holy shit, is that scary. Mixed fruit jam? Let's go. Just keep finding jam, and you might be able to escape. Raspberry, okay, we have... It's just fucking blood color in here going on, though. It's kind of disgusting. If you're not gonna find all kinds of jams. Because you can put anything. You can put mangoes in here. You can put any kind of fruit into a jam and have a jar of flavor for yourself for an entire month. While you would be stuck drinking soda, you could be just using jam. Now, there's like concentrated liquids and all that kind of crazy shit that's like super specified to contain a lot of flavor in the bottle. Maybe you're gonna get lucky and find one of these things useful, but Yeah, this is not good if it's just like apple jam does not work. Apple jam actually don't work on me. It's still good. It's still a fine flavor, but it doesn't work for some reason. It's kind of a anomaly. And so I'm not sure if you can find it, because Google ain't showing any of that shit, any of the good stuff, and you might have to be searching for flavors, exclusively trying to solve this problem, just like I am desperately trying to, like, what the fuck has flavor? Soup has flavor. Canned soups. It doesn't have to be canned soups. It can be jarred soups. Jar soups. It's I like more of that style. Soups that come in a jar also look really stupid here. Don't look like real soups, but that's what I like. Like, people actually buy noodles, and noodles are just made out of wheat. So they basically, it's bread with extra steps. They buy bread with extra steps, with extra fucking cash. Like, people do such stupid decisions when they're trying to cheapskate, and there's just soup, you know, canned soup. Now, this is not it. This is not what I eat. So the representation on Google, like, I would feel sorry for you, but technically that's how it should feel after you dump the can. Should have all kinds of cool ingredients in there. And soup is also fucking liquid. Congratulations, you will be able to drink more water by eating more soups. Whenever you feel thirsty, you might want to do soup, because you might not be too exclusively thirsty, and you might just be hungry and thirsty at the same time. Fucking soup is a great solution. So tell me, Americans, what the situation is here, because it feels like it would be a very interesting thing to attempt to solve. Like, it would actually be complicated, solving all these soup and jam problems, right? To try and generate anything that would counter this bullshit that people are buying in masses. They just can't. They got stuck doing that shit. Stuck buying this thing. Now, I don't think it's too unhealthy, but it's gonna ruin some part of you, or gonna give you too many calories alongside with your water, and it's just like nothing. It's a bunch of trash that your body will attempt to, like, remove from your body. It's not even gonna be like healthy calories. Not gonna give you energy. Like, who knows how to describe this unhealthy thing? But my best description is it's fucking expensive. This shit is incredibly expensive. If you want to escape this bullshit, of course you just buy a couple of jars of things instead of these big ass bottles. It's also, like, very difficult to carry all of this shit back home. You know, these are heavy lifting items. Like, they make very little logistical, capitalistic sense of how you fucking handle this shit. Alright, you literally have to go to the store. If you want to drink more of these, you have to go exclusively for these as bottles, bro. Exclusively. So, of course I would, as a cheapskater, as a poor person, I would try and stay away from shit like this. And guess what? I'm just much better off when I do. But stay away from this shit. Stay away from acidic drinks in general, but it's a good representation of citric fruits. They're disgusting. Okay? You don't have to like these. No one should be forcing you to fucking eat grapefruit every day or some bullshit like that. I'm sorry, dude. This is disgusting stuff. And even juice that comes out of it, and they say life gives you lemons and you make lemonades. No, you destroy every single lemonade stand in existence when you realize that life gave you lemons. Lemons actually exist? What the fuck are you talking about? You destroy every single lemonade stand if lemons exist, bro. Kiwis are disgusting fruits, man. I tried to learn how to eat them. I try to enjoy them. And they are the most disgusting thing that I ever put in my body, bro. That looks appealing, that looks normal, but it ain't so. It was disgusting. It was too much effort for very little rewards. that I felt. Like, apple seems like a normal fruit. What is this? Pear, apple. I don't know, man. All you have is grapefruit and annoying orange. Thank you very much. Yeah. Beautiful. And we all know why we don't put grapefruit next to small children, you know? Don't match that. It's a very weird fruit. Very predatory. It's named after an act of abusing other people, for it does exactly that. So you have to stay away from acidic drinks, and sodas also happen to be fairly acidic and will make you feel like shit. I've heard that if you avoid acidic drinks, you're gonna be so much better off. It's just like your body will heal itself better. But that's just what I've heard. I'm not sure. If you avoid acidic things in general, you'll be much better off. And I can just add fruits in there, even though they're not exactly acidic, but they're definitely on the low pH scale and should be avoided. They're disgusting. That's why. Acidity is disgusting. Now, sometimes one sip of an acidic drink is fine. It feels like an important cleaning agent, right? Like, acidity cleans things. So a little bit of acid, maybe after eating a meal or something. For me personally, like, if I drink too much milk, shit, like, I want acidity to just kind of like wash away the feeling of like that accumulates. Like, I can't describe it. I can only call it lactose intolerance, boys. One last thing to mention is the greatest poison of all time: alcohol. Anyone who has been promoting healthy behaviors pretty much said that this is the highest ranked destruction of your body you can ever achieve: drinking alcohol. I don't do it. I don't touch that shit. You can have experience of it. I had experience of drinking too much. It wasn't too bad, but like, you get the hangover, like, you get everything bad from it. Why do people do it? And again, people believe stupid shit. They put social pressure on each other. They throw insults just to see what happens. Whatever the fuck happens, they don't give a fuck. They just want it to happen. Hey, look, make it happen, bro. Make it happen. What's gonna happen to me? I can do that. I can drink as much as I want to. I'm the biggest, the best, the craziest person. Wow. See how they bolster their ego? By destroying themselves. If you want self-improvement, of course you stay away from shit like this. It is a way to activate poison effects and become like the hotter, more feverish person, and then you like hang over because you're feverish. That's all that's going on. You drank literal poison, or gasoline, whatever you want to call it. It's mostly poison. So of course you're gonna be sick in the morning. You're gonna vomit and all that shit. Your body is gonna try and reject all that shit. This is the moment you know self-improvement has to start if you're drinking too much soda, or you actually coerced into drinking alcohol by your peers. If that shit is happening in your life, water is a pretty good fucking topic to talk about. Funny enough. Everyone can see the toxicity of cigarettes, but alcohol is that much more toxic, because you can't even see it, and you're ingesting much greater quantities of it, and even it becomes like a fucking competition of how much poison can you fucking handle in your life without ruining your life, without crashing into the nearest tree with the most expensive car. Like, I mean, these are crazy ass competitions going on. I even saw a female be like, but the stats look like this, but what is this? What is this Gen X? Is Gen X not drinking enough alcohol? What's going on? And it's like, bro, they're underage. Leave them alone. Like, fucking female was, like, analyzing the social situationship of people not drinking enough alcohol. Jesus Christ. Yeah, water is mixed with NPC shitty behavior and shitty misconceptions. And you have to escape that paradigm as best as you can. This is it, man. This is the moment your awakening starts. This is the self-improvement you really need to lock in to be able to be better than everyone else. Because that people literally get sucked and drown in this shit day in and day out. It's the weirdest thing that people actually drown in so often. And for no good measure, like nothing. There's so many miserable people drowning in waters. And that's nothing to be proud of. And most of the time when people throw insults of like, that's why people should have wore condoms, they're talking about themselves. They're talking about like why they shouldn't fucking exist in the first place. They have this insult in their heads ready for takeoff because they're the ones that have it, you know? They probably need it very much. They probably got it from someone else because they deserved it. And I don't believe that shit for myself. I'm an intellectual human being who wants to better society, who wants to live longer and be healthier. What the fuck is going on? Well, I was attacked by haters. And, you might want to be water, or you might want to be hater, but you cannot do both at the same time. See you guys next time, baby.